Most of us get so caught up in our own thoughts. We brood over memories of the past, over our expectations of the future, and we're unable to concentrate, be in the here and now, focused. When your attention is scattered and fragmented, you are the effect of your life circumstance. Whereas if you are able to collect your attention and have one pointed focus, the more you can control your life circumstance. And it can be as powerful as using a magnifying glass to concentrate sunlight at that one strategic point. It is the fundamental nature of the mind to move, to flit from thought to thought. And ancient yogis, recognizing this quality of the mind to move, developed techniques to train it to move toward a particular direction. In fact, the Yoga Sutras define yoga as the means by which you can learn to control the mind, thereby discovering your true nature. It is also arguably the most important purpose of performing yogic postures. Practicing dharana or focus in each posture will tighten the reins of your galloping mind. Every asana, in fact, is the first base of training for such concentration. It is here that the mind learns to become subdued, and it is within the depth of a pose that you purge your mind from its relentless chattering and learn to surrender to the present moment. All postures practiced mindfully and with a coordination of breath and movement improve one's ability to concentrate. But certain yogic postures, such as inversions or balancing postures, drive you to heighten your concentration. You have no choice but to slow down, and your attention turns from your endless to-do list toward the rhythm of your breath, to the movement, and to the nature of your thoughts. Maintaining a posture requires strength, flexibility, effort, and intention. But trying to execute an advanced posture merely on the strength of your muscles or the flexibility of your body can be rather taxing. It may take you years to reach a posture this way. However, by practicing dharana or focus, in time your practice begins to take on a meditative quality. You must establish a link between the mind and the body by focusing on your breath and the details of a posture. Consciously inhaling and exhaling will not only root you deeper in each posture, but if you can control your breath, you can control your mind. Your ability to be present in this moment, to focus and to concentrate can have a great impact on the quality of your life. Yoga philosophy and yogic postures practiced mindfully with great focus and awareness of breath can give you the tools to help you concentrate and channelize your energies. Now, to practice any posture with ease, you must learn to breathe deeply, to align your body physically to be able to support the posture and your own body weight, and you must develop an acute sense of observation. Now, when you have to support the weight and energy of a different being, be it literally or metaphorically speaking, you require a focus of a different sort. You must not only tune into your own energy, but you must heighten your senses to be able to tune into theirs. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit root word meaning union. It refers to the union of the mind and the body, and then of the mind and the body with pure consciousness. Practicing with a partner requires a union of energies. Establishing a connection requires an ability to give in, let go. You must first take the time to connect. Tuning into another human being requires great attention, patience, understanding, and compassion. To be able to support one another physically and trust that you will not fall, you must engage on a different level. But most of all, you must let go and trust. If your attention is scattered and fragmented, you will be unable to practice or will endanger yourself and your partner. You then have no choice but to heighten your attention. When you tune in to another human being, you must learn to widen the stream of your attention. Learn to observe each other and tune in to more than just the physical body. The mind can learn to aim at an object, stay on it, penetrate it, and know it. The object can either be internal or external, but as concentration develops on that object, the mind becomes still and absorbed. When you are able to connect with one another, not only do you build strong bonds, intimacy, and trust, but you become better at focusing on something specific while ignoring distractions, and more capable of noticing what is happening around you, giving you a fuller perspective on the present moment. Yogic postures are the perfect preparation and the first base of training for developing concentration. When you are mindful in your practice, aware of the rhythm of your breath and the sensations in your body, you begin to establish a conscious link between the two. And when your attention really sinks into a posture, a curious thing happens. The stream of thoughts in your mind narrows. And as you learn to tune out the external, your brain waves actually lengthen and a feeling of calm comes about. This is the type of concentration that one aims at cultivating. Now, certain postures require you to use all your faculties, mental and physical, but no matter how complicated or simple they may seem, they become less and less about strength and flexibility and more about your ability to focus. Begin by spreading your toes, rooting your feet firmly into the ground. Tucking in your pelvis, let your mind's eye begin to travel up the ladder of your vertebrae, feeling as if you're growing up and out of the ground. Allow your belly to be soft. Try moving your head a little, having a sensation of the head balancing on top of your spine. Relax your jaw and let your tongue drop to the bottom of your mouth. Soften the corners of your eyes. Balance the grounded quality of your lower body with the lifted feeling of your upper body. With your eyes gently closed, bring your awareness to the rhythm of your breath, the rising and falling of your belly. Now open your eyes and fix your gaze at a point in front of you. Soften your eyes and have a sensation that what you're looking at is coming toward you. Now, bend your right knee so that the ball of your right foot is resting on the floor and the weight of your body is on the left. Brushing the right toe against your calf, twist the right leg around the left, hooking the top of the right foot behind the calf. Stretch your arms out in front of you parallel to the floor. Crossing your arms now so that your right arm is on top of your left. Bend your elbows and place your palms together. Keeping the eyes focused at the point in front of you, bend your knees. Breathe. Releasing the posture and keeping your gaze fixed, now bend the right knee into the chest and take a hold of your big toe with your right hand. Inhale, exhale, and straighten the right leg out in front of you. Raise your left arm now to the side for balance in Gyan Mudra. Soften your belly. Breathe. Now keeping a hold of the right toe and grounding your left foot, turn the leg out to the side, keeping your knees straight, your eyes focused, and your attention on your breath. Now bend the right knee and place the foot as high as possible on the left thigh in a half lotus. You can also place it on the inside of your left thigh. Inhale, raise your arms up, and keeping the body steady, exhale, slowly bending the body forward and letting the arms swan dive down toward the floor, placing the palms flat on the ground. Now, bend the left knee. Inhale and with control, raise your torso and your arms up. Exhale, bringing your arms down in a prayer position and release. Gently lie down now on the ground. Feet apart, arms apart, palms facing upward, allowing your feet to fall out to the sides. Close your eyes, and as you inhale and exhale, let the body sink further and further into the ground. Now bring your feet together, your arms beside your body or slightly tucked under your thighs, palms facing down. Inhale and lift your legs up, keeping them straight. Roll your hips off the ground and support the weight of your body with your hands, your hips resting on your palms. Your trunk is now at a 45-degree angle to the ground. Your toes are in line with your eyes and the weight of your body is resting on your shoulders and elbows. Breathe. To come out of this posture, lower your legs behind your head, place your palms flat on the ground and gently roll down, coming down vertebrae by vertebrae, and release. Feet apart, arms apart, palms facing upward, allowing your feet to fall to the sides. As you inhale and exhale, let your body sink further and further into the ground, giving in to the force of gravity. It is only when you experience these postures that you realize just how much focus you must have to be able to balance. Through the practice of concentration, the mind becomes a highly attuned instrument. This does take time, but what you do start to notice early on in your practice is that you become better at focusing on specific things while ignoring distractions, and also more capable of noticing all that is happening around you, giving you a fuller perspective of the present moment. You use the muscles of your chest, whether you're lifting a bag of groceries, pushing open a heavy door, stirring your coffee, even when you walk and run. But most people take for granted the ability to lift, push, and pull, even move through their first 3 or 4 decades. But as we age, we do lose elasticity and mobility, and if we don't regularly work upon ourselves and upon that connection between the mind and the body, we do lose the ability to live actively and independently through the rest of our lives. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, if you don't use it, you lose it. So the key to being able to do these activities for the rest of your life with ease is to be consistent and intelligent in your practice. Your reward will be strong, supple muscles that promote your overall health by stimulating blood and vital energy to flow throughout your body. And this will not only aid your yoga practice, but give you the ability to be who you want to be. In any movement, the action itself is made up of the coordinated activity of several different muscles. All muscles work in conjunction with other muscles. Postures that use the muscles of the chest also strengthen the muscles of your arms and shoulders, as well as increase blood circulation in the area and improve your breathing and cardiac functioning. The pectoral muscles cover the rib cage, connect to the collarbone, the breastbone and the cartilage of several ribs. The main function of these muscles is the movement of the shoulder joint and the mobility and rotation of the arm. The foundation of understanding the process of how the human body builds strength is the fact that the muscles are constantly being remodeled according to the demands being placed on them. If you have never lifted your own body weight off the ground, going through the motions of lifting your body weight, even if it's only for a few moments every day, will make your muscles begin to remodel themselves and accommodate to exactly the load that you place on them on a regular basis. If you do not repeat the activity with some regularity, your body will begin to decondition the muscles significantly. However, the manner and method in which you practice must remain true to the practice of yoga. We must constantly remind ourselves that yogic techniques, whether they work on the body, the breath, or the brain, they seek to cultivate an expansive, quiet state of mind. Correct guidance is key. Under no circumstances must you jump into a yogic posture or see it as physical exercise. Yogic postures are those that are practiced with the correct intention, in a smooth, controlled manner, synchronizing breath and movement, and with an awareness of what you are doing at any given moment of time. While trying to focus on specific muscle groups like the muscles of the chest, it's important to still remain true to the practice of yoga. Yoga is about consciousness, and yogic techniques, whether you're working on the breath, the body, or the mind, they seek to cultivate an expansive, quiet state of mind, a union of the mind and the body, and then of the mind and the body with pure consciousness. The concept of the brain and the body being connected is not a new one, but its complexities are a little difficult to understand. It has been shown that activities that require greater concentration to perform are highly effective in developing that interaction between the brain and the body, and this contributes greatly to the efficiency of a muscle. Now, simple or complex, yogic practices and yogic postures are meant to be performed in a specific way. And it is very interesting to explore this brain-body connection with a partner. Your heightened level of concentration and awareness builds more than just strong, more flexible muscles. To prepare the body for chest-strengthening postures, it is essential to first warm up and stretch, opening your chest and allowing more oxygen to flow through your body, stretching to release any tightness in your back.
While strengthening the front of your body, it is equally important to balance that strength with flexibility and to develop steadiness in your body. Natarajasana will stretch your back along with your chest. You will also feel your thighs and abdomen stretch as your hamstrings and hips loosen and your shoulders relax. As this posture builds strength in your ankles and legs, holding postures will become easier and more natural. While strengthening the front of your body, it is equally important to balance that strength with flexibility and to develop steadiness in your body. Natarajasana builds strength in your chest. Through the practice of yoga, you will learn to work with these seemingly opposite movements. This is the essence of yoga. A marriage of seeming opposites to create a posture that is both steady and firm, as well as expansive and spacious. When you practice yoga with a partner, you can often manage to perform postures that you wouldn't be able to on your own. As your partner holds you and directs energy towards supporting you in a posture, you suddenly have the will and the ability to perform great feats. Trying to execute a complex posture without having worked on gradually toning and strengthening your body can be rather taxing on your muscles. Remember to move within your own range of comfort without rushing to perfect a posture. Moving slowly and taking your time in unfolding and releasing a posture, remember to breathe deeply. By practicing dharana or focus as you practice Rajkapotasana, add a meditative quality to your practice while you strengthen your chest as well as stretch your hips, groin, and hamstrings. Postures that use your arms to support your body weight, such as the plank pose and Santolanasana, add definition to your chest while they strengthen the arms, wrists, and spine. However, it is essential to keep your core muscles engaged at all times so as not to injure yourself. Gliding into Kamatkarasana will open the muscles of your chest, lungs, and shoulders as your upper body gains flexibility and strength at the same time. As you release all unnecessary thoughts and embrace stillness, both of the mind and body, you will feel your practice of asana transform from mere exercise into a yogic journey.
While practicing postures, sometimes the main thing that is on our mind is the intense sensation and stretch that the posture creates. And it can be hard to go beyond that and see it as anything more than physical exercise that wrestles an uncooperative body into unusual positions. A surprisingly helpful way of moving towards a more calming, more conscious practice is to study the physiology of the human body and the science of how muscles work, taking into account the factors that influence their efficiency. While strengthening the muscles of the chest, for example, it helps to know that flexibility and strength go hand in hand, and that a longer, more elastic muscle is stronger because it can contract with greater force, or that a muscle that has a greater supply of oxygen doesn't fatigue as easily, and that when activity is performed from a slow to moderate pace, makes the muscles more efficient. Science and yoga do converge on the same conclusion. The most effective way to strengthen and lengthen a muscle is to lead with your mind and let the body follow.
Begin by resting in the child's pose, Shashankasana. with your hands stretched out in front of you. Now measure your elbows. And then spread your palms so that they are shoulder width apart. Moving your shoulders forward now until your palms are directly beneath your shoulders. Pressing up on your toes, come into the plank position. Contracting your shoulder blades and tucking in your tailbone. Exhale and slowly lower your torso and legs to a few inches above and parallel to the floor. Practicing Chaturanga Dandasana strengthens and tones the entire body. Keeping your hands beside your chest and your elbows tucked in, push your hands up and roll into a modified Cobra pose or Bhujangasana. Breathe. Tucking in your toes now and pressing on your hands, inhale and let your hips rise into the sky, into Parvatasana, staying only for a moment. Spreading your palms so that they are in line with your shoulders now, bring your body back into the plank pose. Breathe. Santolanasana develops the muscles of the arms, shoulders and the spine and brings a sense of inner equilibrium. Exhale and slowly lower your body to the ground. Keeping your head raised, slide your right hand on the ground across your body, gently turning onto your back. Bending your knees now and bringing your heels as close as possible to your hips. Place your palms flat on the ground beside your head, your fingers slightly tucked under your shoulders. Now, pressing on your palms, inhale, letting your belly rise up toward the sky. Straighten the arms and legs as much as possible, letting the head lift off the ground into a full wheel or Chakrasana. Breathe. Exhale, slowly lowering the body so that the head rests on the ground first, and then lowering the rest of the body. Pulling your knees in now to your chest. Inhale and exhale, releasing the muscles of your lower back. Breathe. Turning now onto your right side, gently pushing yourself up into Vajrasana. Now, cross your right leg over your left, so that your right knee is directly over your left knee. Extend your arms out and place your right palm in between your shoulder blades. Bend your left behind your back to meet your right hand, clasping your fingers and raising the elbows behind the head so that the head presses against the arm. Gomukh Asana, or the face of the cow, relieves stiffness in the shoulders and neck and improves posture by opening the chest. Releasing the posture now and keeping your eyes closed. Place your palms on your knees and rest. An interesting way to approach your body is as you would a wild animal, moving very gently and gradually and taking great care not to startle it into contracting. So you stretch only a tiny bit at first, then you stay completely still until your body adapts, then a tiny bit further, and then you wait patiently. The beautiful thing about this method is the philosophy that it expresses. It only works when your mind is completely focused. And in this way, you are truly practicing asana as it is described in the Yoga Sutras, as a state of being in which one remains physically and mentally completely steady, calm, quiet, and comfortable. In a physical sense, when we balance, we align our body's center of gravity with the Earth's gravitational field, quite literally putting ourselves in physical balance with a fundamental force of nature. When you're standing on one foot, you naturally drop all extraneous thoughts to focus on the task at hand. And it's amazing how physical balance can induce in us a deep sense of calm, extreme focus, and the ability to be completely present. But bringing the body into balance isn't necessarily easy. It's not just your flesh and bones that are brought into balance, but because you must constantly refresh your balance from moment to moment, your mind also becomes steady, calm, and focused, and you achieve balance on various levels. Inverted postures such as the headstand or Shirshasana challenge not only your physical balance but also your mind, which must stay focused to achieve the stability required to hold this balancing posture. Coming out of an inverted posture requires just as much steadiness as holding the posture. Along with balance, yogic practices help us develop our concentration. Postures that teach us steadiness also strengthen and tone the different muscle groups that you use to balance your body. An asana such as Merudandasana opens your hip joints and stretches your hamstrings and calf muscles as you lean back and learn to balance your body weight on your tailbone, letting your spine rest in its natural curve. Notice the importance of balance and alignment as you flow from one posture to another, how you must drop all extraneous thoughts and focus on the present moment. You must engage the muscles of your core and use the strength of your arms to practice Bakasana. However, your ability to stay in the posture is largely dependent on your ability to align your body with gravity and balance with unwavering focus. The firefly may seem like an inaccessible posture and does require a considerable amount of strength. However, eventually, with repeated practice, you'll find that the muscles of the body learn the intricacies of balance. When you focus your gaze or drishti on a steady spot in front of you, letting everything else become a blur, you'll find that it is much easier to balance. When done correctly, a headstand has the power to calm your mind and relieve stress and mild depression. It also stimulates the pituitary and pineal glands and strengthens the lungs and abdominal organs. A regular practice of balancing postures will not only strengthen and tone your overall body, but also the legs, arms, and the spine. These postures will help you connect to your center of gravity and be at complete ease whether you're upright or inverted, on the mat or off.
When you practice balancing postures, you learn some practical lessons in how to stay grounded, to find your center, stay focused, steady your mind. Plus, the process of falling down and trying again really helps you develop patience and perseverance, even a sense of humor. To achieve physical balance, you must first align your body with gravity. You must have the strength to hold the position and then an unwavering attention to maintain it. Also, learning to balance often has a lot to do with your mental state as well. If you're stressed and anxious, it's likely that your body will also be unsteady. The key to attaining balance is in learning to be completely present. Practicing with a partner can also be a wonderful training ground because to be able to support the weight and energy of another human being, you have no choice but to heighten your senses and be completely present.
Standing tall and upright in Vrikshasana, you can use your partner as a support for developing a better sense of balance. As you connect to your center of gravity, extending yourself in Nataraj Asana as you open your shoulders and chest. You must use the strength of your body and have an unwavering focus to achieve steadiness and stillness. Think about the amount of strength that you need to first create a posture, then hold it, and constantly adjust it to prevent yourself from falling. This awareness will enhance your ability to balance yourself in complex postures such as Bakasana. However, having unwavering focus is key to the art of balancing. Attaining a balanced body requires building a strong base. Therefore, it becomes essential to strengthen and stretch your body so that it can carry you while you perform balancing postures. When you practice with a partner, you must let go. You must release any tension that you may be holding inside, and let your partner lift you as if you were as light as a feather. You learn to explore the boundaries of your flexibility and strength as you engage every muscle, as you focus on enhancing stability and agility at the same time. With practice, you will discover that the art of balancing becomes less and less about the use of your muscles and more about the movement of energy and breath as you flow from one posture to another. With the support of your partner, you can sometimes practice postures that you never could on your own. As you are lifted into the air, you learn to use the force of gravity to fully express a backward bending posture. As you reorient yourself from an inverted posture into an upright posture, you must take a few moments to root yourself back into the earth, breathing deeply at all times before moving into the next posture. While it is important to trust your partner, it is equally important to let your partner trust you. To be able to balance, you must heighten your senses and be responsible not only for your own balance, but also your partner's. And the more you practice, the more you can be in control of your body.
There's something uniquely frustrating about losing your balance in a posture, especially if people are watching. It goes beyond your fear of falling and strikes directly at the ego. Most of us, as we try and balance, have unsettling thoughts like, why can't I do this? Or everyone's watching me wobble. But when you practice yoga, it's best to leave your ego at the door and not be too proud to practice near a wall if it helps. Usually, if you fix your gaze or drishti on a steady spot in front of you, while letting everything else become a blur, you'll find that it's much easier to balance. Your mind must also converge on this point of attention. Pranayama and breathing practices go one step further to enhance your level of focus because they purge your mind of its relentless chattering, and then you learn to surrender to the present moment.
Start by sitting in Sukhasana with your left hand in Gyan Mudra and your right hand in Vishnu Mudra. Inhale and then exhale completely. Getting ready for the practice of Meru Dandasana. With the legs bent, the soles of the feet together, bring the heels towards you. Keeping your back straight, now hold your big toes with your first two fingers. As you inhale, tilt backward a little and lift both legs up together. Now, maintaining your balance, open your legs wide, keeping the back and legs as straight as possible, and maintaining the natural curve of the spine. Relax your shoulders and lift your chest up to the sky. Breathe. Maintaining your balance, exhale to release the posture now. Bend the legs and bring the soles of the feet together. Inhale, exhale, and now release your body to the ground. Inhale and raise your arms above your head and stretch your body. As you exhale, come up to sitting. Rest now for a little while in Shashankasana or the child's pose as you inhale and raise your hands above your body. And exhale and slowly bend forward, trying to place your head on the floor. Raising your hips now and pressing down on the palms of your hands, preparing for Santulanasana. From a push-up position, transfer your body weight now onto one arm. With your chest facing forward, raising your other arm up now toward the sky. Keeping your body aligned without letting your pelvis drop. Releasing the posture now and coming back into a push-up position. Bringing your foot forward now and placing it between your hands. Pressing your palms or your fingers into the floor. As you inhale, raise your arms above your head, stretching your chest up toward the sky and bending your body backward. Use the strength of your legs to help you balance. Now, let your arms float down until they are parallel to the ground. And keeping your arms stretched out toward the sides, twist your body. Releasing the twist now, come back to center. Lowering your arms and bringing the knee of your back leg toward the floor. Push yourself up to standing. Standing now in Tadasana with your arms beside your body. Shifting the weight of your body onto one leg, inhale and lift your foot off the ground, placing it on the inner thigh. Raise your hands now above your head, your palms joined in the prayer position.
It helps to remember that your balance and flexibility can change from day to day depending on what you ate or how much you slept. And it's important to learn to tune into these subtle changes, whether they're in your mind or your body or your spirit. Of course, you mustn't judge yourself, but it's important to allow your mind to really watch and reflect upon every movement, because this will lead to skillful action and eventually to profound transformation. And once you achieve physical balance, and you will have the ability to be more focused, balanced, and present in your daily life.